I'm Chef Leslie Durso, and if you're like me, you love to travel and to eat locally. But I'm here to tell you, you don't need a passport for it. All you need is a fork. Welcome to Around the World in 80 Plates. It's impossible to go to Japan and not notice the beautiful mochi that the pastry artists create there. And so I'm gonna recreate it in my home today on today's episode of Around the World in 80 Plates. I'm Chef Leslie Durso, and that's right, we're making mochi. To make mochi, of course, we need to start with our dough, which means we've got a cup of glutinous rice flour. Now, don't worry, there's no actual gluten in here if you're allergic to wheat. To that, we're doing a cup of cornstarch, a quarter cup of sugar. I'm gonna give that a little whisk. And then add in a cup of water. We're gonna keep whisking until we get all those clumps out, which it's nice and smooth now. And this dough is a little funny. You can heat this up on the stove, but it's actually easiest and I think comes out best if you use the microwave. I know that's weird because I never use the microwave, but today we're using the microwave. So we're gonna set that aside. And you can use plastic wrap, or I've got these great reusable silicone protectors, and I'm just gonna set this over the bowl. That's microwave safe. So the first trip to our microwave, we're gonna go in for 60 seconds. Ready? Always open your plastic or lid away from you in case there's steam in there. You don't want to burn your face. I'm gonna give this one more whisk. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so into the microwave, it's gonna go with its lid back on for another 60 seconds. And almost there. So now this one, we're just gonna do our rubber scraper, and you can see it's starting to come together, but you wanna mix that center where it's wet with the outer that's dry. All right, my pretty, you are going in for 30 more seconds. And in those 30 seconds, I'm gonna prep my workstation for rolling out the dough. So you're gonna get a large sheet of parchment paper and some cornstarch and one of these great little fine mesh strainers. And we're just gonna sprinkle cornstarch to cover this entire piece of parchment. You wanna make sure it gets really covered so that it doesn't stick. More than what you think is the right amount. Okay, okay. We have a beautiful, probably very sticky dough. So we're just gonna turn it out onto our parchment paper. Ooh, yeah. And now I'm gonna take even more cornstarch over the top of it. And we're going to coat our rolling pin in cornstarch as well. We don't want anything sticky here. It is a very, very sticky dough. And we're just gonna roll this out to about 1/4 of an inch thick. And don't worry about all that cornstarch because we're gonna brush it off later. So again, more the merrier at this point. And that's what I've done. So now I'm gonna carefully slide my parchment paper and dough onto a cookie sheet. And I'm gonna set this in the refrigerator for about a half hour to chill it down. 30 minutes, and this is nice and chilled. So I'm gonna just take it back off the cookie sheet. And I'm gonna use a 3.5-inch cutter to make some rounds. Once I got my round, I'm gonna use a pastry brush to brush off all of that cornstarch. See, I told you we were gonna brush it off. And we're gonna do that on both sides. Last one, all clean. Now, it's time to go get our fillings. Ice cream! We're gonna use ice cream today for the center filling of our mochi. Traditional is red bean paste, but I've seen it done with ice cream and I thought it would be really fun to do. So working very quickly, we're gonna put our dough in our hand. We're gonna pick up a free frozen ball of ice cream, say that 15 times fast, and then I'm just gonna fold the dough over it so it creates a cute little ball. And then I'm gonna take a little piece of plastic wrap here and finish forming it. Then we're just gonna form it, twist it off, and get this back into the freezer ASAP. So I'm using non-dairy ice cream today. You can use any kind that you like. Even banana nice cream would be delicious in this recipe. You just have to make sure that you're moving really quickly when you're making them. Okay, another piece of plastic. Hold that tight. It's okay if it leaks a little bit. It's still gonna taste the same. Into the freezer. These little babies are frozen and perfect. So I'm just going to very quickly unwrap them because you want to serve them right away. Now my mochi might not look that pretty, but trust me, it's going to taste delicious. And there we go. Some perfect little mochi. Oh, I got a mint chip one. That's delicious. Perfect summertime treat.